Listening to a few YouTube videos while I've been out this afternoon on dopamine and like how it hits your brain and how we program our brains basically through our phone or different devices. Like we're basically just scrolling our phone, finding a news feed, trying to get that next hit of dopamine. And so I'm trying to put together a game plan to break myself of these habits, because I have several projects that have been going on now for some of them over a year that just haven't reached completions. And I'm like really assessing through it, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm losing my ability to focus on hard problems for long extended periods of time. And I find myself like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of focus tension, and then I got to get another, basically what I'm understanding is a dopamine hit, where it's like, I don't know, something nuanced, something, you know, you're sitting in line at a bank or whatever, and you're like, oh, let me just scroll my phone real quick, you know, let me go to a group chat real quick with my buddies on our, you know, on our server, like any of that type of stuff, where it's like, I gotta figure out ways to break myself of this habit. And I'm genuinely mulling over the idea of like, can I rock a flip phone? I think rocking a flip phone is pretty extreme, but I think compartmentalizing, like, what do I need to do for work? And then what do I really need a phone for? You know, and I'm working this through in my head, because it has to be reasonable, right? Because I'm noticing like in my particular work, I don't really need to respond to emails at every hour of the day. I've normally batched them into like 1 hour a day, or not an hour a day, like one viewing a day, like where I'll just check them at once. And actually I've gotten to a spot, homeboy doing a burnout. Okay, all right. Fun times. So, you know, I've been able to do emails actually, like, I actually have somebody that actually reads a lot of my emails for me. I get back to my emails, but like just flagging them and things like that. So emails aren't really a huge distraction. I've pretty much mastered that. I don't have a lot of social media. I don't have Facebook, you know, so I don't have that stuff on my phone. But I do scroll like news feed or you know, like video feeds and things like that, looking for information and content. And I'm thinking through this on how I could kind of set up parameters, maybe gamify this a little bit to accomplish this goal of like retaining focus. I know that sugar is a dopamine thing too, so I can definitely cut that. I don't necessarily need that. I like it, don't get me wrong, but it's like I can definitely work at reducing that and cutting that out. And then other things that I could do, I mean, the flip phone's pretty extreme, but I just feel like I don't think I'm going to lose out on a whole lot by going to the flip phone. I've actually been thinking about a tablet. Like, if I need to be mobile, a tablet might be better to work off of. And then for the most part, I enjoy sitting at a desktop anyway and just like sitting down and focusing on my work. So I don't really need to be reached most of the time for a lot of things. And I'm wondering like what the negative would be and what the positive would be. And I think that the positives would outweigh the negatives. I'm kind of sifting through this. I'll have future updates on how I plan on accomplishing this. But I just sit down and I get work done. I can definitely work for like an hour, no problem, focused out. But I have, you know, if I'm not super focused on work, it's like 5 minute spurts, 10 minute spurts, distractions, 2-3 hours goes by, and I really only accomplish 45 minutes of crush time. So I'm kind of reassessing this, and then I'm also thinking through like what do I really want to do here in life. Because I feel like we've been trapped, or at least, yeah, I think most of our culture, but we've been trapped in the metaverse already at this point in time, where it's like we're already living inside of our phones, we're already living in this digital world. But like I want to do some cool boating trips. I want to like go do some good flying. I've got like bigger dreams and aspirations that I want to accomplish that don't really have anything to do with scrolling a news feed, taking in any content that I didn't particularly actively search for. So like I'm trying to learn new skills at this point in time. Like one of them is Linux. I'm just like trying to learn my way around Linux. I'm trying to understand it and become relatively decent at utilizing it. Other than that, at this moment in time, that's what I'm trying to learn. So I don't really need a whole lot of other content. I don't really need to take in a whole lot of other content to really focus in on that skill. So anyway, I'd like to hear from you guys on how you guys are, if you're even aware of this. You know, I know it's kind of an offshoot video, but as I'm thinking through this and I'm like, man, I don't like the direction that a lot of things are headed, but I can't control that, but I can totally control where I'm headed. And I just think like there'd be no bigger flex than getting a flip phone. I really do want my Razr phone back, by the way. If anyone's got like an in-the-box Razr, like for real, like one of the Motorola ones, like I had it at Singular, like that's the one I want. I want a black Razr. And I'm thinking through, like, do I need a camera on me? I like having a camera on me is fun, but do I need to have a phone? I don't really need to. I really don't. I can have like a good camera, small, nothing on it except camera. So I don't really need a whole lot. I need text and I need call. I think that's my biggest thing. And then blocking newsfeed on my video, like on different things that different sites I go to, and then just scheduling everything else out, and then cutting sugar. I think that those are like probably my most actionable things that I'm gonna get the most results with. And I don't think that there's gonna be a lot of downside to like not being able to respond to an email in the middle of nowhere, whenever, or anything like that. I don't, and I've already done small minor things, like I don't get notifications on my phone. I don't get text alerts. I have 2 people that can text me and my phone will make a noise or vibrate. The rest of them just go silent flags, and they don't go on the screen, like the closed screen. Like I have to open it and open the app to find the text. A lot of people are like, bro, when you get back to my text? It takes a while to train people, but I mean, I've already made those moves. I made those moves years ago. My phone doesn't ring unless it's certain phone numbers. Other than that, it pretty much just, I mean, I guess it'll ring during work hours. My work phone will obviously go off, but I've already set up things like this. But now I'm just thinking like I need to go to that next level of figuring out how to really get myself to focus, because I think that that's a major advantage, like a huge flex, not just the flex of the gangster flip phone, which is pretty gangster, but the ability to focus and really get work done, like really focus and do deep work in a world where most people cannot, I think is a major unfair advantage. I'm just kind of processing through this, like, man, what if I got like my 4 big projects done this year and I got like nothing else done? Like I just got my 4 big projects done. Well, like that's a huge year for me. And like all the other stuff that I really think through, like all the other stuff is really distraction. And I'm really thinking through this timeline wise. And now I'm going to be conscious to it, but I'm really thinking through this. Like I think more than 50% of my day is like filled with bullshit. Okay, I really think that it's filled with more bullshit than it needs to be. And so anyway, I'll have updates on this. But this is just kind of, it's something that, yeah, I gotta do this. I just gotta do this. I think I gotta go get a flip phone this week. I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for following along. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. If it's the first time on the channel, consider hitting that subscription bell. I try to put together good stuff here. Try to put together engaging content. And until next video, I'll see you guys in the comments. Peace.